So what I'm doing here today is I have a couple of old transmitters. These here are old two-way LCD remote controls. This one here is from Prestige Audio Box. This one here is an Omega. This is the one I'm actually going to be dismantling and replacing and retrofitting with a new kit, which we sell here on our site at Let's Go Sales. It's an empty shell case. It's an empty blank shell case. There's no electronic parts inside it. It's just plastic pieces, for the front, the back, the door cover, antenna, ring, etc. That's really all there is to it. But just to show you, similar ones such as this one here, which is an audio box, stuff like this that happens on a daily basis. Antenna lid pops off and disappears. Buttons just get significantly worn out or illegible. Screen becomes just very hazy or illegible. Or, of course, this, which is the most common problem, the door just disappears, cracks, falls apart, or the locking mechanism for it just disappears and just disintegrates, whatever the case is. So there's a lot of stuff that can go wrong with these things, and instead of buying an entirely new transmitter, which in some of these cases, like this one here, which is discontinued, can cost $80, $90, even more. Some of these brands that I've seen or I've sold go into the $150 range, and that's if they're not touchscreen or colored or charged by USB. These ones here, powered by AAA batteries, just normal LCD two-way remotes. So they can get pricey. This case here, for instance, for the Echo 2 or Echo 3s, I use a lot of these. I sell a lot of these because this case here runs you around 30 bucks. If you were to replace the entire transmitter, like this guy here, you're looking at 85. So to save 50 bucks, it's definitely worth your time and effort to go ahead and do this work. And to make it even easier, I'm going to actually show you how I do it so you know how to do it so you don't have to worry about actually breaking it once you get involved. So here I'm going to go ahead and show you how I do it. And if you're going to do it, this should hopefully take all the fear out of it for you. So here I go. This here is the replacement case kit that I'm going to be using for this one here. It's an Echo 2, like I mentioned. So the 15103 is the one I chose to use. Actually, before the first half of the video, I had this 15105, but I forgot that this case does not come with the glass. And the clear glass piece in this remote here, you can see is kind of scratched up and, not the nicest. So I opted for this kit here. Now what we got in this bag, just to show you, is you got the front half. You can see this got the protective clear covering, and underneath it reveals this beautiful nice new screen, which is what we want. All nice. There's your front half. There's your back half. Battery lid, your antenna stub, that'll go right like that. And you got your two buttons for lock and unlock. Notice that it omits the 3 on the side. Some of these cases don't come with all these little parts, so don't take it for granted thinking that it does if it doesn't. Make sure you ask or you look at the pictures. It happens more often than you might think. We are here, we're humans, so if you need to ask us a question, if you're interested in getting one of these kits or whatever, by all means, we're here to take advantage of me. My brain, pick me, pick my brain if you have to. Better safe than sorry. So to begin in getting these things taken apart, all there is to it is in here, located right here in the back on the side of this negative battery post stud here, there's a small Phillips screw, and you're going to need one of these micro Phillips screwdrivers, which everybody pretty much has. That's really the one and only tool you even need to do this job, believe it or not. If it's magnetic, it's even better. And the reason why is because when you pull it back, it'll actually take the screw with it, which is good. So when these screws disappear, they have a tendency to disappear forever. So now that I have that done, all you have to do is gently pry the front and the half of this case apart from each other. Okay. You don't have to be overly gentle. Remove the back. That's going to expose the key ring, which should pretty much just fall out. Your side buttons, which are keeping pressure on the side of the board, so you're going to want to wiggle those out and keep that, because like I said, this case does not come with those. Now what you're left with is the front half, the LCD, the back half of the transceiver, and the antenna, which is still connected onto it, which you just pull straight out. If by chance you were a little rough when you took your case apart and this happened to you, where you actually separated the front from the back half. Don't freak out. It's okay. This usually, what is this one here? 4 little holes here, and you got 5 on the back. They correspond to this side. I'll show you a close-up. Oh. Basically, just put those right back together. Line them up very delicately. Like that. Like that. Press them back together. Don't put pressure on the screen. When you're closing these, do not press on the LCD. Press anywhere else on the side, but never ever press on the LCD. Okay, make sure they're nice and snug, level, flat. There you go. Now, first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your antenna. Now note on this antenna that there's 2 little holes on the side there. That matters when you're lining these things up. So when you're sliding it on, you don't have to worry about it. However, when you put it into the front half of the case, there's a little protrusion, that little nub by the antenna. That is going to line up to the hole that I just showed you on the antenna. So make sure you spin it, and that's locked in just like that. Okay, so now I got my front half locked in. And of course, Murphy's Law, you're always going to forget the one piece that you're supposed to put in before all the others, of course, right? So to back it up, put your lock and unlock buttons in there. Even the pros make mistakes. So that's all good. Now we're going to take those 3 side buttons for channel 2, 3, and the program button. Get those guys right in there. There you go. Antenna's lined up. 3 buttons are in there. Lock up buttons are in there. Ready to go. Next thing is you're going to take your key ring. Put that in there. It should pretty much hold itself because it's being held by the bottom half of the case. Now lastly, this could be a little tricky. This is the back of the case. Now if you notice that it has, this is kind of hard to get on the camera, it has kind of like this piece that goes down and over. It's kind of hard to show you this here. But what you want to do is the battery goes over this. And then on this side there's a spring. So you're going to need to go up over the spring, down, and kind of nudge it over to the side just a little bit to get it in place. If the key ring falls out like it did on me, don't freak out. It's fine. There's nothing holding this case together. Just stick your key ring back in there. Give it all a nice squeeze with your fingers. Spin the antenna around if need be to get it lined up properly. Once everything is in good shape, just place it down, get your screw. Get that set into your micro Phillips. Carefully line it up with the hole, tighten it down. Lastly, get your battery. Make sure it works. That's pretty much that. Take your battery door, cover her up, lock it down, and there you go. Look at that. Beautiful. Brand new. That's it. That's how you do it.